Night one of summer tour. It's one of the it's one of our favorite nights, I believe, of the year. It doesn't always necessarily deliver a great show, one of the best of the summer, but this one's not maybe that it might not be end up being one of the best of the summer. Hopefully, in fact, it does not. But this start here and just everything through the first set, and then maybe one thing we could have expected was look, the new album coming out, tons of promotion with the new album. And they did get two in there. Hey Stranger, one early, Pillow Jets, one late. But they do a great job of also giving us just all of the stuff we really want. I mean, look at this set ending melt, a hood encore. Look at Hit and Shuffle a little bit with Zero and Down with Disease, Antelope over here. So what exactly is going on? And what a hot opener Buried Alive was tonight. Not like it's something completely out of left field, but not one that I certainly did not call, and many others did not. And then, but it comes through, and then not just like every now and then Buried Alive just feels like they're just flying right through that to get to the next song, which was not necessarily the case tonight. Look at this character Zero. Kind of had this like a much calmer, almost like a bluesy section there, and then once it got to the end, it became the rocker that character Zero is. Hey Stranger after that, Page really bringing this one up here. It was, it was like, oh boy, here we go again. A little bit of an eye roll. Not one of my favorites from the new album. By the end of it, though, after Page had done his thing, and then it kind of transitions a little bit over to, a Trey-led jam, but then the whole band kind of getting in there with that smooth groove, and then back to a little bit more Page to end it. So, Hey Stranger, with all of these big boys here, perhaps winning the first set. A very strong Hey Stranger, Down with Disease coming through. Just a complete smoker here. Not necessarily the neighborhood it's used to hanging around in. Doesn't really matter, though, necessarily with Down. It really doesn't matter with Down with Disease. They can play that thing anywhere. All of these old songs, though. Hey Stranger sneaking in there and winning probably. The Roggae, kind of taking us back a few years with the Roggae, how it was played and building up. NICU, a bit of this is also where somewhere in here, like at times, maybe the sound wasn't great. Maybe that led to a little bit of a sloppiness in the NICU. Nothing horrible, but not the best of the night. Some of this other stuff, basically everything so far. And then we get into Stash. Interesting, we got a Stash, Melt, and Pillow Jets. And I don't want to put Pillow Jets in the same company as Stash and Melt, although I'm just did and I'm going to continue to here. They have those sections where it's like, okay, this is somewhat of a normal song, if you can really say that at all about Split Open and Melt. But then just comes that just crazy chaotic section. Pretty much no matter what they do, they can do about anything with it, and I'd be like, yeah, I was Split Open and Melt. Yeah, that was definitely Stash. What do you mean? It was Pillow Jets. Just can't quite get over that beginning there, and then you get in and you start you're conjuring thunder at one point. So maybe too much chaos, 1, 2, 3. I don't know if Trey's trying to let us know, like, hey man, this is the new Melt. No, come on, man. No. So Stash was here, 46 days, playing the role of character Zero was 46 days. Trey is in fact still a rock star. Suzy Greenberg starting us out over here. Hold on. So we end the first set with 46 days. Now, let's jump over to set two. Sometimes I just caught myself just kind of. All right, so let's go over here to set two. Suzy Greenberg is how we began set two. Again, not something totally out of nowhere, but not something that we get a lot. The Suzy Antelope, also with the new album, many parts of this show had a older feel to it with Suzy Antelope back to back. Antelope again. That kind of opening segment to Antelope was cool, and then it gets fired up and gets ripping and roaring. Ghost, maybe as far as checking the clock, may have been our longest one of the night, according to YouTube channel member and fan of the channel here, Spud. He clocked it at 19 minutes and 10 seconds. Guess we'll have to see what the official time is on that, but we might have hit the 19 and a half on the under. Got one of my 5 picks in with Antelope. Missed both of the new ones. Really went too hard on Wave of Hope. All right, so enough about that. Let's get in. So the Ghost, a very good Ghost, but nothing like, didn't go like maybe they had room here in time. It's early. It's the first night, so I'm not going to say like it was a bad go. It just didn't maybe like, it was like, ooh, maybe it's the third song. I got a little too excited for the Ghost, all right? While it was still very good. And more Page, if it wasn't, if he didn't get enough Page over here, in Hey Stranger, he had something to come for you in Light. He had a moment in Melt that was really cool. So Paige sprinkling himself in on a night when here on first night, and then the Ghost into Light. I'm a big Light guy, and this Light, while it didn't necessarily go all the way, it was very good again. Kind of like the Ghost, I don't want to say they just wasn't. They weren't great. Not a ton there to and I quite can't have it quite figured out. As the jamming's evolving here a little bit. Two songs I should definitely give a second listen before I get on here and start spouting my mouth. I didn't say they were bad. Calm down. You know, it's just Ghost. Come on, man. There's been so many, and Light same way. You got a lot to live up to, guys. This is night one. Thanks for trying. Pillow Jets now. All right. This is where it could have really taken us in. Look, you got to forgive me. Speaking of night one, totally got jammed up here on the whiteboards. Forgot about Sea of Stars. Then I had all this blank space. Had a blank space where my mind should have been, perhaps. And I realized, hey, that's only 6 songs. They played 7. Sea of Stars. And I try to get creative. This was a Sea of Stars, you see? See what I did there? Maybe you can't even see. I can't. I kind of see it. You can kind of see them in there. All right, there's a Sea of Stars there. It's over here. Maybe not the moment for that. And I like that song, but maybe it just wasn't quite the moment for that. Coming off of Pillow Jets, a Light that was, a 3.9 out of 5 on the Light. So hit a little bit of a, lost to all the greatness. I don't know. I feel like I'm really shitting on it when it was an awesome first night, really here. But then we got down to the boogie with Split Open and Melt again, like all these others. It has that moment where it can just go so off the rails that it's kind of hard to, it's just like it just went off the rails a little bit too far, too much. But tonight it was just like a perfect, like they went right to the edge. The rails were certainly rattling a little bit. There was one part, was it Melt or there was another song in here somewhere where there was like this train sound. It didn't quite make sense. I was like, wait a minute, what's this got to do with a train? You know what I'm saying? It was almost like it was Paige and Mike, I believe, combined. Just like a train roaring coming at you, but a bit in the distance. What song was that? Well, if you forgive me here for a moment, I may go over here and look. Oh, it was Stash. Okay, yeah. I don't know where that came from. Woo! I mean, it was roaring. It was nice. Almost like when they compare the sound of a tornado to a train coming. We heard Mike's train coming several times tonight. It wasn't just on the tiny desk that Mike was getting down. He was going off a few times tonight as well. And then we get the Harry Hood encore. We're running out of time here everywhere. They were, I am. We've kept you long enough for night one. Boom. We're going to end this now. And yeah, about Mike with that haircut. What did he do? Stop by the Boston YWCA for that thing? Trey certainly, he should have just taken Trey with him as well. It's carrying on about Mike's sneakers recently and how cool he is, and then he does that. All right, boom. Looking like he's going to end up in the WNBA All-Star game, Mike did. All right, guys, boom. Enough about Mike's hair. We should talk more about Pillow Jets. They will wonder, or whatever the hell he says.